Big good day and welcome to another edition of the BFNL Footy Show. My name's Yeendy, sporting the old China from Easter Mischief. I'm here in the hot seat. I've got the BFNL guru, Liam Brady. Welcome back, mate.
Yeendy, good to be back, mate. Looking forward to the season. It's obviously 2 games in already, but most sides start their season this weekend. So really looking forward to seeing how some of the new players shape up and obviously some new coaches as well.
The pressure's really on you, mate, because when I first started here, I was told that no one knows more about the BFNL than you, mate. So you're on the big bucks, and you're in the hot seat, and you're going to make it work beautifully.
Looking forward to the season ahead, mate.
And you're fresh off a grand final win in the cricket too, mate.
Yeah. We'll talk footy though, mate. It's well gone now. So.
No, you were the hero, mate. So we'll pay tribute to that. But we'll also acknowledge the fact that we're 2 games into the season, but we're finally on to the big stuff. Round 1's underway. Mountain South are 2-0. They've had a few tough games over the last couple of weeks against Melton and Sunbury.
Yep.
But considering where they were last year, mate, they're flying.
Yeah, it's great to see. Obviously, they've battled for a couple of years now. So for them to get Brendan Favola in as coach and also some senior players around him have certainly helped a fair bit as well. And I know that both the first 2 games have been really well attended in terms of crowds. It's great for the league and great for Mountain South. I think that obviously things have started pretty well. So it's a long season though, and I think they'll be certainly up there later on in the season. But there's a long way to go before finals, and it's great to see Fev playing in the competition. He's a big name player, and he'll obviously help. When Mountain South play opposition sides, it'll help their gates as well. So. I think it's great that he's part of the league. And
the South will probably benefit a little bit more as well because they've had a couple of games played already which will be made up during the season, so they'll have an opportunity to have a look at some of the other sides as well as this weekend as well because they are playing on Anzac Day. But we'll turn our attention to Saturday afternoon football, and we've got East Point versus Ballarat, and this going to be a cracking game down at Eastern Oval, and both sides they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, they are, Yeendy. They're both going to have fairly young groups this year. Both clubs have got new coaches in Jake Bridges taking on the role for the first time at East Point. He's come across from Buninyong where he's done a pretty good job. And also Shane Hutchison takes on the role at Ballarat. So 2 guys will be hoping to start their coaching campaigns this year with a win, no doubt. I think with East Point, lost a couple of key players in the off-season, in particular Hayden Walters, who hasn't played too much the last 12 or so months, but I think he'll be a big loss for them. Interesting, Paul Kotorenko going around again, which is great to see. You've got some good younger players in Jake Peters, who I think will stand up this year as well. So for Ballarat, they've got a pretty young group as well. So I think East Point can win this game just with the game being part of the Eastern Oval. Yeah, I think Ballarat, given they're just a developing side at the moment, I think there's a big opportunity for them to make a statement of the competition, and obviously grand final venue throughout the past, and I think they'll be keen to get up there. The BFNL match of the day, we've got Redan versus Lake Windaree, and plenty of people talking about this one that be played here at City Oval, and Lake Windaree. They had the opportunity last year. They finished minor premiers and then lost 2 of 3 games in the finals. How do you think they're situated at the moment? Yeah, pretty well situated, Lake Windaree. They've got a new coach in Tim Malone who's come to the club from Springbank, and he's a playing coach. He'll add a lot of drive from half back. He's a really good player. They've also got a couple of other recruits as well, but I think last year, with regards to their final series, we don't want to dwell too much on last year, they had quite a few injuries at the second half of the season, so I think if they can remain injury-free throughout this year, I think they can certainly contend this year. With Redan, a new coach in Brendan Peace takes on the role. He comes back to the club. We know Peace is a premiership player at Redan, so a bit of a favourite son of the club, so I think Redan will be up there come the end of the season as well. So this is going to be a really good contest, and I think with the game being played at the City Oval, the City Oval's in great condition too. Just walking on it before, it's great to see the ground in magnificent condition for the start of the season. I think Redan can win this game at home.
I'm going to jump on the Lakers bandwagon. I just have a bit of a feel from going back, being an Essendon supporter, going back in 1999. I'm seeing a lot of comparisons there, a lot of missed opportunities, and from talking to a lot of clubs, they feel that Lake Windaree is one of the teams to beat this year, so I'll be on their bandwagon a little bit. And one of the games I'll be looking forward to getting along to, Sunbury versus Melton. Both teams already played in 2017, and both teams went down in good close encounters and probably dominated Mountain South for big portions of the game and lost winnable games. How do you think this one will shape up?
Yeah, fairly evenly matched. I think with the game being played at Sunbury, I'm going to tip Sunbury, but I mean, all the talk's been about Mountain South. We probably haven't spoken too much about Melton. I think they're going to be pushing around the final six this year. Brad Murphy's done a really good job as coach over the last couple of years. And
you happy with him that he's not playing this year and getting opportunities, experience on the sideline?
Yeah, I think as a coach, you certainly, I think you're in a position to probably do a better job if you don't play. But I think he's had some pretty good help while he's played the last couple of years in people on the bench. But he'll really enjoy the role just non-playing. And I think they'll improve a fair bit. I think Sunbury will be pretty handy too this year. I think Sunbury will just win. They both lost to Melton South by a couple of goals. I think they might have been 8 points and 12 points respectively. So it goes to show there's probably not too much separating these teams at this early stage in the year.
Yeah, I'll definitely go with Sunbury. The way they sort of finished the game a little bit strongly last week. But for either side, they'll be 0-2 for the losing team. As we turn our attention to Sunday afternoon footy, and we have got Darley versus Bacchus Marsh. Darley the 15 premiers, Bacchus Marsh the 16 premiers. What a game this shapes to be.
Local derby. It's always a great rivalry between these two teams, and as we know, Bacchus Marsh have probably the side to beat again. They've lost Cam Richardson, who was a pretty important part of their forward line last year, but they've been able to pick up some players as well in the off season. And Darley, from all reports, have recruited pretty well also. So I think Bacchus Marsh will win this game. But having the game as a standalone game on Sunday, I think we'll hopefully draw a really good crowd at Darley Park.
Looking forward to seeing how Ed Scotland goes in his new gig over at Darley too.
And he's another player that we probably haven't spoken too much about. And a lot of the focus has been around Fev, and so it should have been. But Heath Scotland's a player that's played I think 200 plus AFL games, and he'll be a great acquisition for Darley. And I think.
You might be injured heading into this week from all reports as well, so I don't know if you'll line up as far as we know on the mail. So you're backing Bacchus Marsh?
Yeah, last year's premiers. I think we'll just get the job done.
And I'll have a crack at the 15 premiers. I've seen them play before, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they go. Mountain South on Anzac Day take on North Ballarat City, and another big game. Mountain South are flying 2-0, and they're eyeing off to do a clean sweep this year. So they've got a little diagram up in their rooms, and they're doing ticks for how many wins they get. So they've already got 2. NBC, how do you think they'll travel this year?
Yeah, I think North Ballarat will travel down the highway and get the 4 points here. I think that Mountain South have been good the first couple of rounds, but North City have probably crept under the radar a little bit in the pre-season. Their pre-season form has been okay, and I just think that from sort of the club that they've been and the side they've been over the last couple of years, I think they'll be too strong for Melton South. For Melton South, obviously they finished on the bottom of the ladder last year. I think they won a game for the season.
Correct.
And for them to be able to match it against the top 3, top 4, top 5 teams from last year, it's a fair turnaround. I know that they've got some really good recruits, so it's going to be a massive challenge for them. I think a lot of people think that they'll just walk into each game and win quite easily. That won't be the case. They'll be challenged at different stages throughout the year. So I think one of those challenges will come on Anzac Day, and I think North City can win this game, and Melton South may have their first loss of the year. I
think a few eyes will be on what happens around Tate Pearce as well. The former Essendon player, he struggled in the first 6 quarters that he's played this year, and he was off the ground in the second half in the win over Sunbury Lions. So I know he had a bit of general soreness, so whether he gets up, if he does get up, then a few eyes will be on him, because there's just a sort of feeling that they don't know where to play him. Where they play him up at half forward, they tried him at centre half back and on the wing last week. He got a little bit of the ball, but I'm just not quite sure what to do with him.
Well, I watched Tate Pearce played Essendon for about 5 or 6 years, and he's a key back. That's where he played his AFL footy. So I can't see why he wouldn't play either full back or centre half back in a Ballarat Football League side. Whether he wants to play somewhere else, or no doubt he could play full, but obviously you got Fev up there as well. So I would say that he would be a genuine key position backman in this competition. But I'm not an expert, so I'll just my thoughts. But he played some reasonable footy for Essendon as a key back. Obviously his body let him down in the end, but
Well, I'll go against you in the tipping department. I'm going to have a crack at South at that one. And just a reminder, heads up on the great efforts by 97.9 FM. They've been getting out broadcasting some games earlier on. They're going to be doing a double header this weekend. They'll be heading out to here at City Oval. They'll be doing Redan versus Lake Windaree, and then they'll be getting out for Anzac Day festivities out at Melton Rec Reserve. Jump on the Ballarat website for details about match times as well, with all the excitement going around Anzac Day. Braid, thanks so much for joining us in your first appearance for 2017, mate.
No worries, Shane. It's always good to come on and talk about the season, mate. Looking forward to the year. I think one point I will make is that there's probably no standout side at this stage of the year. It's pretty even competition, which provides a lot of hope, a lot of opportunity for those teams that may have been around the mark last year to possibly step up and contend this year. So it's going to be a really exciting year ahead.
Certainly will, and of course Sebastian's got the bye, and they're firing from all guns as well, all guns blazing in that department. We look forward to catching you guys next week, and we'll catch you guys out at the footy this weekend.